Thank you for joining us today. We have a heck of a crowd here. You know it's an important event when we even have Raymond that's in attendance here with us. But I want to thank Chantal for opening up the beautiful museum here for this very important announcement. With our rich 125-year baseball history, Tampa's own Al Lopez's house is the perfect setting to share our team's latest step forward on the path to making Ybor City the next home of the Rays.
Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
For 8 years, I've been steadfast and laser focused on leading the Rays to Tampa. We've had good days and bad days, and along the road, some frustrating ones as well, but it's always been extremely worthwhile. In October, I was privileged to announce that site control for the team's next ballpark was secured right here in the heart of Tampa, in the Ybor Historic District and at the gateway to Channelside. With that announcement, our major hurdle had been jumped. It sent a strong signal to the team and to Major League Baseball that we are serious, we are committed, and we are more than able to be the team's next home. Today, with our next hurdle before us, we are again stepping up to the plate. There is no doubt in my mind that this community supports a new ballpark in Tampa. And we're about to get very serious in identifying that corporate and community support. Standing with us is Chuck Sykes and Ron Cristaldi, two well-respected leaders in our community with a history of civic involvement. They both have a passion for baseball and are committed to the Rays remaining in our region and coming to Ybor City. They've created an organization that will play an integral role in identifying and securing the corporate sponsorships and community support necessary for Rays ballpark. This is a critically important element because in St. Pete, ticket sales and corporate support have lagged. I am confident that will not be the case in Tampa. And these guys are here to make sure of that. They understand that without increased corporate support, the idea of the Rays coming and playing in Ybor City is DOA. The progress we have made is tremendous, and we have many more to thank than those standing behind me. But the reality is there's work to be done before we're celebrating opening day here in Ybor City. That being said, we're taking a major step forward today toward a new Rays ballpark in Tampa that will not only complement other projects on the horizon, but will transform Ybor City and the Tampa Bay region. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you a real community leader who I have an extraordinary amount of respect for, that you might have seen just yesterday at the Governor's Luncheon at the Florida State Fairgrounds, received the Civitan Citizen of the Year Award, Mr. Chuck Sykes.
Thank you, Commissioner Hagan. Guys, this is, for me, this has been a long time in the making. I would say personally, it's probably been about 10 years. It started when I was invited to take part with the ABC committee, which was honestly my first phase of beginning to really study and learn the business of baseball and honestly the business of ballparks. My learnings over the last 10 years have continued to kind of deepen my understanding of what it takes to make these things work and work together. I've also learned an awful lot about economic development. And the reason why I share that with you is because standing here today, through this journey that collectively our whole community has been on, I am absolutely convinced, as many, many others are, that this is the best location for our region for baseball to really be sustainable. It's the best area when you think about our collective population in our region to have more access to the game. It's so important. Things have changed tremendously in the 20 years since the Rays came here, and even longer since the Trop was built. Our population center is different. Where growth is occurring is different. We live in a really good time right now where our region collectively is enjoying a tremendous economic viability, and we're all excited about that. But as you look at the future and you think about these things, we need to think 20 years from now. And that's so hard to do for many of us. We live our lives wanting to know what kind of return we get in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. But this type of project, we have to think 20 years and beyond. So with that understanding and the opportunity that we have right here before us, Ron Cristaldi and I are really happy to announce the formation of the Tampa Bay Rays 2020. Now, this is an organization that we're going to get together and bring together leaders from throughout the region to help us take on the task of engaging, informing, and at the same time gaining the support from not just the general public, but gaining the financial support from the business community. You heard Commissioner Hagan talk about how essential that's going to be, and it is. I mean, it's not lost on any of us, the size of this project or anything, but what's more exciting is just the boldness and the transformational aspect of what this project means to our community and to our region. So we're really happy about that. I'm excited about that. I have so many colleagues in the community that are just ready to get going. And today is really kind of the demarcation line that we're putting it out there that this is what we're working for. And I hope everyone here will really join us in really seizing this, what I believe, at least certainly in my lifetime, this will be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I hope we grab it. So with that, I want to hand the podium over to my partner, Ron Cristaldi. Ron?
Thank you, Chuck. I can't tell everyone how excited I am to be here today. Make no mistake, this is a watershed moment in the history of Tampa Bay. I'm confident that when we look back on today, February 9th, 2018, we will remember it as a catalyst moment in the next generation of the Rays history in Tampa Bay. I'm honored to be standing here with my colleague, Chuck Sykes, with Mayor Buckhorn, with Commissioner Hagan, and with Rays owner Stu Sternberg. A new ballpark here in Ybor City will not only usher in the next generation of Rays baseball, it will serve as an economic engine to fuel growth and development in this community for generations to come. As Chuck mentioned, he and I have formed Tampa Bay Rays 2020 to add vision and focus to this effort. Today we're launching a website, tampabayrays2020.com. I'd encourage you all to look at the website, and on the website you can sign a petition to show your support for this effort. We understand that there are a lot of things, a lot of details that need to be worked out between now and the first pitch on opening day here in Ybor. But I want to be clear that the focus of the Tampa Bay Rays 2020 effort is to galvanize the support of the business community, to show the Tampa Bay Rays that we can fill up a stadium with fans here in Tampa Bay, and to make the Rays' long-term home in Tampa Bay for generations and decades to come. But Chuck and I can't do this alone. It's going to take a broad-based, diverse group of community leaders, citizens, and fans to make this work. So as I stand here today, I'm asking each and every one of you to join us, to stand shoulder to shoulder with Chuck and I, and to make this a reality. Thank you, and I'd like to introduce Mayor Buckhorn.
Let me just remind all of you where we stand today. We stand in the heart and soul of Ybor City. Ybor City is what makes this community authentic. It is our heart, it is our soul, it is the story of Tampa in every shade and ethnicity and gender. It is who we are. And I would also remind you, as you look around this room, that baseball is in Tampa's DNA. All of us who have spent time here, and certainly families like the Gonsmarts who grew up here, and many of you know many of the people whose names are on these pictures. We lived through the stories of Al Lopez. We reveled in Wade Boggs' famous ride on that horse through Yankee Stadium. We loved Lou Piniella and Tony La Russa, who grew up blocks away from each other in West Tampa. We heard about the stories of the Belmont Heights Little League, and the Wellswood Little League, and West Tampa Little League, and the sons and daughters of cigar workers, and the sons and daughters of longshoremen and domestic workers who grew up playing together on those fields that are legendary in our community. We are Tampa, and baseball is a part of us. This announcement today, and I will tell you that we owe a great debt of gratitude to Mayor Rick Kreisman for having the intellectual and the fortitude and the courage to do the right thing for the right reasons, to give this region, not just St. Pete, but this region, the opportunity to compete to ensure that the Rays stayed in the Bay Area. That took a lot of guts, and he deserves a lot of credit. And now we find ourselves at this juncture where the Rays will express their preference. The overriding desire for all of us, be it in St. Pete or Tampa, is to keep the Rays in the region. That is why we're here. This is the beginning of this journey. This is not the end. There will be trials and tribulations. There will be drama. But I will tell you this. In this community, we don't do drama for a long period of time. Our goal is to make this happen. And if you think about how far we have come as a city and this journey that we are on and where we are in that storybook that we call Tampa and what is occurring in downtown Tampa, what is occurring on that waterfront, what is occurring here in Ybor City, I could not think of a better connection, a better conduit, a better point on that map than to build this stadium at this location. It is who we are. The Rays deserve our best efforts. We don't know what the outcome will be, but I can certainly tell you from the city's perspective, we're going to put our best minds to the task, always recognizing that we keep the taxpayers first and foremost. But the Rays deserve our best efforts. And I can tell you as the mayor, for another 400 and something days, that is exactly what Stu Sternberg and the Rays will get. Ladies and gentlemen, the managing partner of the Tampa Rays, Stu Sternberg.
A real passionate group of people here, and it came across so clearly in what they had to say here this morning. I've personally thanked each and every one of these people standing behind me, and I just want to publicly do it as well. But also dramatically, away to a person's heart, and everything else is through their stomach. And I'd like to mention Richard Gonsmart and thank him for being here with the great Columbia Restaurant and all they bring to bear. Really representative of all the other businesses and people in the Tampa Bay region and here in Tampa, and thank you again for being here. Most importantly now, thank you, Mayor Buckhorn, Commissioner Hagan, Chuck Sykes, Ron Cristaldi. Together, your leadership has been an essential part of making today a reality. It takes a true love of both Tampa Bay region and Rays baseball to commit to putting forth this type of effort. We began this process more than a decade ago with the formation and the findings of the ABC Committee, and as Chuck mentioned, he was a member of that committee a dozen years ago. I don't know if you imagine what you're getting into then, but we got to this point, which is, I think, all worth it. Since then, we've never stopped working towards finding a solution for a new first-class ballpark in our Tampa Bay home. Fan and corporate support are crucial components to our success. I'm grateful and excited to see that the business community is getting involved in a significant way. We're eager to work cooperatively to make this vision come to life. Ybor City, as has been said, is authentically Tampa Bay. It is a place with soul, with grit, and with a rich, rich baseball history as well. We could not be more excited about playing a role in writing the next chapter of Ybor's storied history by together building a next-generation-based neighborhood ballpark that integrates this vibrant and growing community. The Ybor site was chosen through a collaborative, cooperative process with Tampa and Hillsborough County leadership. It represents the finest opportunity for Major League Baseball to thrive in this region for generations to come. This is where we want to be playing baseball, and the possibilities are very, very exciting to me and my organization and to Major League Baseball and all our fans.